checking in with roughly the first half of At the End of the Passage, which has four uh, British Indian Brits who are variously ruling over the country, are civil servants, doctor, engineer, stuff like that, who are, in India. It's fucking horribly hot. They're basically getting together for their weekly card game, where if someone doesn't show up, you telegram to find out if they're alive or dead, because what with black cholera and all sorts of other things, they could very easily have been off by that, or off by like the finance minister of the king. They like, is there anything to read? Because like the whist is going, yeah. I don't understand whist. The whist is going, yeah. So they pick up an article. They read an article by an MP who has come through. This seems to be a usual occurrence of an MP has come through and then gone back and gives a speech saying that, like, this is basically this is the scion. This is the domain of the aristocrats' scions, where they get sent here to enrich themselves and just have great pleasures, and these guys suffering in the heat and miserable, and basically finding themselves surrounded by native peoples and just feeling completely alone and isolated. They scoff at this. It turns out that the one guy who is with the host, Hummel, has offed himself. Well, he hasn't. He's gone. He's had a bit of some kind of a fit, kind of hallucinating. Comes to himself, then says, "Oh, I'm going to go hunting tomorrow." Goes off and cleans his gun and accidentally shoots himself. And apparently, one of the native people was going to write it up as a suicide. It's like, no, it's an accident. We're going to give him that. Who knows? Someone might need to cover up my suicide at some point, so we're going to put it as an accident. It's very much kind of a matter of fact. He didn't even bother, sending a telegram to the other fellows, because, like, I was busy, and I have to do all his work now. Fuck. So there's that. Yeah, is he a surveyor as well? I can't remember. The engineer and surveyor, I think it is. And and when it's time for the guys to go, who's definitely, his Jevons has killed himself. He's like, "Oh, don't go," even though he's been like bitterly, kicking and kind of grousing at and kind of insulting each one of them pointedly. He begs them not to go. Spurstow, I think it is the one who stays with them, where the other two drive. They say, "No, we've got other duties we've got to do, so we're going to head off." And so he stays, and they've spread out some couches for them so they can kind of spend the friend can spend the night. They sound like old dudes, but they're all under 30. I mean, it does kind of drive home the point of, this is exploitation. This is ruling people because you've been put in charge of them, due to the might of the British Army, have Brits having kind of muscled their way in here. But they very much cast it as like, well, if it was the king, he would be exploiting his the native peoples even more so. He's so greedy and corrupt, which there's greedy and corrupt rulers all over the place. But making the point that it's like, oh, we're just protecting them from themselves. Again, it's that whole thing of they can't protect themselves. They would just exploit and run themselves even worse than we would. That kind of thing. But it does. Kipling does at least kind of get that thing of like, this was fucking hard work. You're alone in a foreign country, dealing with peoples who it was an adversarial relationship. This is like, it is tough work, even if like myself, you disagree with that work heartedly. It was freaking tough work. All right, so that is At the End of the Passage, part 1. The passage being Passage of Life. I don't know. We'll find out. More videos later.